Okay, so we are going to talk about lists in Python. So we have seen different data types till now. We have seen integer, float, string. We have seen complex numbers. We have seen booleans. Okay, so we have seen all these different data types till now. But Python has something called data containers. Okay, Python has something called data containers. And why do we call them data containers? Because they contain more than one value. Okay, they may contain more than one value. Okay, so first data container that we generally learn, that is your list. Okay, so a list is basically a collection of different values. List in Python is a collection of different values. Okay, lists are, a list is represented in square brackets. Okay, like this. Then list is always indexed. Just like your strings, the list is always indexed. Values in a list are called the elements of list. Okay, each element in the list will have an index. Index always starts at 0. Okay, we know this, right? So for strings also, the index was starting at 0. Here also the index will start at 0. Okay, element, first element of list will carry index 0, and last element will carry -1. Okay, this is also clear, same as index, same as strings. Lists are mutable, unlike strings. Now what does that mean? Okay, I have written these many things. Any questions about this? Anything that you want to ask about this?
Will be represented in inverted commas, like
Shamant, not very clear.
will they be presented inside the inverted commas, just like strings?
Strings are represented in commas, quotes, double quotes or single quotes or triple quotes, and lists are created with square brackets. We will see how. We will see. List is always indexed. Okay, so like your strings, list will also be indexed. Okay.
Okay, each word won't be indexed, right? Only the whole. I mean, it can be a single word or one element.
It can be anything. It can be anything.
Then what would be the difference apart from being giving the square brackets to represent it.
Okay, we'll see that. We'll see. Okay.
List contains multiple strings.
List can contain multiple strings. Yes. So we have used a split method, and when we use a split, there are multiple strings created and they are put into a list. Okay. So
Yeah.
the last thing that I wanted to discuss is lists are mutable. Okay. That means if you want to change one thing in the list, that is possible. The same was not possible in the strings. So if I want to, suppose I have Python and I want to change Python's T to capital T, I cannot do it with assignment. Okay, something like this, ST, and if I have Python, okay, and I want to do, see, ST0 is my P, correct?
Yes.
And if I want to change this ST0 to capital P, okay, this will not work. This throws an error. Okay, it says str object or string object does not support item assignment. That means strings are immutable. Strings cannot be modified by item assignment. Okay, I can assign something else to st, to entire st variable, but if I want to assign something to the index of the st, that is not possible. Okay, but in list it is very much possible. That's why the lists are mutable. Okay, now let's create few variables. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called name, and okay, let's take Shaman's name today. Shaman, probably age, sorry, you would be somewhere around 26, 27.
I don't mind that.
Okay. Oh, what is your age?
29.
29. Okay, good. You're still quite young. Okay, and place or location, you can say Bangalore, and what else? For working, okay, you are working or not. For that, let's take a Boolean value, true. Okay, so these are variables and they all contain one single value. Okay, but what if I wanted to represent this thing as a collection? Okay, so I wanted to put Shaman's information in one single variable. What should I do? That's where I need a list. Okay, so I will create a list. Maybe I'll give Shaman's initial sh like the name for this list variable, and then in the square brackets I will say name, comma, age, comma, location, comma, working. So what I have done, I have taken the variables that I created here, name, age, location, working, and I have put them within the square brackets separated by comma. Okay, and that will create your list. So if I say print sh, you see it will print all the things related to Shaman in this single list. If you want, you can check the data type of this. So if I say type of sh, okay, this will give you, it is this variable belongs to class list. So if you remember, I told in the very initial classes that everything in Python is based on class. When we create a string variable, that is also an object of the string class. Integer is also an object of the string class. Similarly, when I created a variable sh as a list, so this sh is actually creating a list which is an object of the list class. Okay. So this is how we simply can create a list. And why did I want to create this list? Because in variable, I can create either an integer or a string or a float or Boolean. But here in this one single list, I have kept 3 different types of data types. We have a string also, we have integer also, and we have a Boolean value also. Correct? Now, if I just want the name from this, what should I do?
Print sh of 0.
My name is. One. My name is. Then in the curly braces, I can say sh index 0, right?
Yeah.
That should work. So this way, I can get any data from this single list. Anything that I have in this list, I can print that. Okay, so slicing remains same as your strings, absolutely same. Or index also remains same. Let's talk about indexing first. So if I want the last character or last element, see, everything in the list is called an element, and elements are separated by comma. Okay, so this is one element, this is another element, this is another element, and this is another element. Okay, so if I want the first element, I will say sh index 0. If I want the last element, I will say list name, and in the square brackets, I will give index -1. Okay. Now, in a string, each index was a character, correct? In a string, each index was a string, right? So we have st with us. Okay. So if I say st0, it will give me one character, or st-1 will give me a character. Okay. If I check the data type of this type, so if I check the data type of one index from the string, I'll get it as str. Okay. So every index in your string is going to be again some sort of a string, right? Yes, no, maybe. But here in your list, every index can be a different data type. Okay, so if I say print type of sh, this is going to be a list, right? This is list. But if I say print type of sh index 0, what will this be? This will be a string. Okay, so first one is a list, and the second one is a string data type. Okay, if I check the last one, okay, this will be a Boolean because last value is true. Okay, so this will be a Boolean value, or data type will be bool. Okay, so like that, a list can contain multiple and different data types. Okay, so we created a list here with variables. Now let's create another list for Kiran without variables. So here what we are going to do, we are going to provide the values directly. Okay. So we'll take Kiran's name as Kiran. Kiran, your age, same as Shaman?
26.
26, good. And location again, Bangalore. Or if you prefer any other location, that's fine. And you're also working, so I'll say true. So this will create another list. So you can use variables to create a list, or you can use the values directly to create a list. Okay. Now you can check the data type. It will be list again. Okay. You can use your for loop to go through this entire list, just like your string. So if you remember, we used to do for I in st. St is my string variable that has Python. And then if I say print I, this used to print each character from the string on new line, correct? Same way, I can say for I in list variable, so kk, let's take Kiran's list and print I. Okay, this will print each element from the list on new line. Okay, so it's kind of printing your entire information, Kiran 26 Bangalore true, with the loop. So a list can be traversed with a loop. Simple?
Yeah.
Okay. So indexes, I think we are very much clear. But let's create a master list, li. And I'm going to put sh, comma, kk. Now what will it do? I created a list, print type of list. This is again a list because I put that in the square brackets. But I have put sh and kk. Now sh is again a list and kk is also a list. Right? So
Yes.
a list can contain a list and again. So inside a list, I can have another list also. So if I print li, you'll see. So this first list is my first element. The second list is my second element. And that's why lists are very, very useful. I can contain anything inside a list. If you guys remember array in C programming, the array was homogeneous. You cannot have different data types in this. If it is an integer array, it will have just integer. If it is a float array, it will just have float. If it is a character array, you will have just characters. But here, the list is similar to array, but here you cannot, you're not limited to have just one data type. They are heterogeneous. You can have any type of data type in your list. Of course, allowed in Python. You can have all your basic data types, integer, float, string, Boolean. You can have list inside a list. You can have dictionary inside a list. You can have set, tuple, whatever you want, you can have inside a list. Okay, so lists are very, very powerful. Okay, now if I want to print Kiran, what should I write? That way you learn the indexing.
Li of 1.
Print Kiran from list li. What should I write?
Print li of 1. Indexing.
li1 Okay. Shamant, is this correct or something else?
Li of need to separate
List of KK of 1.
separate those two lists and print Kiran from the sublist.
Shamant, not very clear.
We need to separate the two lists.
Why do we need to separate?
We need to separate Li and then again print Kiran from.
See, this is what we get if I say Li1.
Or Li of KK of 1.
No, there is no KK inside Li. Okay. Once I have created this Li, then this is what it contains. But when you are saying Li1, you are getting this list, right?
Yes.
From this, no one is stopping you to take the 0th index. This thing means this list, right? Li1, this Li of 1 means this list here in the bottom, right?
Right.
And from this, take the 0th index. Okay. So if you
This is
have
different from what we are doing in strings, right? But
So,
in strings,
see,
the
strings do not contain any nested information. Okay, strings do not contain any nested information. Now, if I just wanted this k, I can again say 0. So what is it doing? First, it is taking out the second element from Li. So this is my Li. For Li, the second element is this entire list, correct? Then from this, I'm taking out the first element, that is Kiran, correct? Then from that Kiran also I'm taking out the first element, that is K. Okay, so strings do not have nested information. Here you have nested information. We have this outer list that starts with this outer square brackets and ends here. Then inside this we have two individual lists. This is one list, this is one list. Inside these lists also we have 4 different values, right? So we have multiple levels of information, right? And that is what we can find out with multiple indexes here. I just wanted to do slicing on the Kiran's name. I can do like that. But you need to identify where that particular value is. If I do the same with Shamant, I just need to change the element for the Li. I can say 0, 0, 0. Then I get this SHA for Shamant. Right? If someone gives me this list Li and says, print the name of both people, what should I do? Just print the name of both people.
like
Print the name of both people.
Print Li of 0.
So one thing, obviously, you can use indexes Li 0, 0. Okay. And same way, I can Control C, Control V, and do this. Correct? But you can do it with the loop also. In case of loop, it does not matter how many people you have. So I can say for I in Li. Okay. If I say print Li, what will happen? Sorry, print I, what will happen?
So both,
Each element will.
Both
will be
lists will
displayed
be
in separate
printed.
lines.
Right, both lists will be printed in separate line. Now, no one is stopping you to take out the 0th index from this, correct? So it doesn't matter how many lists you have or how many lists you have inside the outer list. I can print all the names, just the names. Correct? So list is your first thing that will move from the basic programming. Okay, whatever you have done so far, that is your basic Python, and list is now we are going to the next level of Python. Okay, list can contain multiple variables, multiple values, different types of data types. Everything can be part of a list. Okay, and when the lists are part of another list, they are called lists of list. List of lists. Okay, that means inside a list you will have multiple lists like this. We have just 2 here, but you can have hundreds also, no problems. Okay, I will give you one very practical example. We can see that. We'll read a file, and from that file we'll create a list of lists. Okay, any questions in this? Please let me know. You understood this indexing part? This is very important.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
These things. Okay, so indexing is very important in list. Most of the times you are going to have indexing. You are going to use indexes because in list, one single value is one index. You are not going to work with entire list at any time, right? What you need one element from the list, and that element belongs to some index. Okay.
For I in li, print I of 0 we have taken care.
Last part I missed it.
Yeah. Last part.
0.
Why is it? Yeah, but why is it not considering the first part of the list? That is the full information of Shaman 29 Bangalore.
See, when I say I in li, so first time I will have this element. I has this value, entire thing, because for li there are just 2 elements, this one list and this one list. Okay, so first time I will have this entire thing as a value. Okay, and then from this I'm taking out the 0th index. So for this the 0th index is Shaman. Then second time when the loop runs, I will have this value. And from this again, I'm taking out the 0th index. So that is Kiran. If you want, you can do this way also. I can iterate through just the first list. Now, what should be the output? Tell me.
Only Shaman.
Sorry?
Only Shaman.
No, this will be an error. Okay. So for Shaman, it will take S, but for the others, it will be an error. So what am I doing? I'm iterating over 0th element or 0th index of list. I'm just iterating over this. So I will move from Shaman to true. So first time I will have this value Shaman, and I'm printing the 0th of Shaman, that is S, that is printed. But for integer, it will fail because integers are not indexed. And that's why you get error. INT object is not subscriptable. Okay, you can print I. Printing is fine. So now you print this entire list in each new line. Okay, so don't worry, this is list of lists. You can focus on list itself. Simple. This is a list. I'm iterating over this list and printing the elements. Right, this part you understood, right? At least.
Yeah.
So this was the list, and I iterated it using a for loop, so I can print the elements in separate lines, in new lines. Okay, every time the loop runs, I will get the next element from the list. So first time I will have Kiran, next time I will have 26, then I will have Bangalore, then I will have true. And then with each iteration, I'm printing I. So first time it prints the first value, then second value, then third value, and then finally the last value. Okay. Just okay, I'll upload these videos. Try to go through these again. I will share this file also. Okay, and see what you understand and what doubts you get. And let me know your doubts. Okay, don't hide them. Let me know. Okay. Any questions today? Let me know.